What up, what's going on? It's your girl Estelle, still real, still here. It's the album Shine, April 29th, and it's Jump Off TV. I don't go nowhere. This is #1 champion. I've been just taking time out to relax and to be a regular person. People know I've been doing this for almost 10 years now, and it's got to the point where it's like, you know what, I'm about sick of doing music. I had to go and find something else to write about too, other than I got lyrics, blood. I got lyrics, you know. So yeah, basically when I lived for a few years and came up with a different subject matter, came up with different things and a different frame of mind. There's a lot of different styles in the album. There's dance, there's hip hop, there's reggae, there's soul, there's pop and rock influences. That's one thing I kind of kept from the last album, was me just being 100% real about my life, rather than making stories up and making ideas up about, let's sing about this today, or let's rap about that. You know, I was like, you know, I'm really pissed off about this, I'm gonna sing this. Or this made me happy, I'm gonna sing this, you know? It's just become more confident, more unbothered by people's opinions, more unbothered by what people expect of me. Less giving a shit. Simple as that. What's important to me is real songs, and songs that you want to hear 10 years from now. So whether I'm rapping, singing, doing whatever, or freaking just breathing on the track, I want it to be the most impressive shit you've ever heard, or the most relevant shit you've ever heard. You know, I don't want you to not having a reaction to it. Just to be like, yes, cool. John Legend has a different way of working, coming from a singer, straight singing, piano, classically trained, and background. I come from a rap freestyle background, you know, as in writing songs. So we went in the studio and we were like, I was freestyling, he'd be like, let's get the melody. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And some days it would work and some days it wouldn't. It worked my way and some days it would work his way. Whichever way it worked. The best ones took like 2 hours. If it felt like it was going on for more than 2-3 hours, we just stopped working. Because it was like, oh, this is too much effort. Like, and that's the great thing about working with him, I think, why we work so well. Because we don't push it, we don't force it, and it is what it is, you know? And we just try to achieve the best possible song. The thing with John is he's very easy to work with. He's not a hard head, he's not an arsehole. He could be. He's won like 5 Grammys. I've won 0. But he still, you know, he wasn't about like, this is the way you do it. This is me. Because he knows I came up as an artist on my own without him regardless. He came here and he knew that, you know, obviously I had my own career popping before. So his thing has never been about, I'm going to take you and make you big in America. I'm going to be John and you're just my artist. He's like, you already came with your shit. Do you? Really thinking about it, it went pretty easy. There's no other way than to say it was meant to happen. Because you don't, like, it was nuts. They said to me, make a list. When I signed with Atlantic, they said, make a list of all the producers you want to work with. And about all those producers I want to work with are on that list. I didn't think I'd really get to work with them. But you know, keep hope alive and ask. If you don't ask, you don't get, right? So I was like, yeah, but up. Core of my list came true and made the album. And it was just like, alright, okay. When I was in between the time of me living and switching over, I was also switching record deals. And the word had got out that apparently I've been dropped. You know, there's a whole bunch of stigma with, oh, she's so big and now she's dropped, oh, just fuck it, she's whack, she's off the face, she don't, she flops, Meanwhile, I was still getting checks from V2 and we were still trying to figure out a deal with Atlantic. You know, and I was chilling, but I was like recording and I was still doing my thing. And I was like, yo, can you come down and record this? And people were like, yeah, I got my kids to take care of, yeah. And I was like, oh, about a month ago, 1980 was blowing and all of you was on my dick. Okay, cool, thank you. I won't ever ask you again. That's my thing as well. I'll ask people one time. Like, a lot of people know me personally, you know? A lot of people that know me personally, so they know if I'm asking them, they know what I'm planning on doing. And that was right in the middle of me about to sign with John. I was like calling people like, yo, I would love for you to get on this track. I've got this idea, can you come down, we vibe? Yeah. So I was like, cool, I'm not asking again. We rocked the show all night. John was the first person, I didn't think he was too serious when he said, I sign you. And then the paperwork landed and he was. He's the first person after V2 were like, we don't know what to do, because you don't want to work with us, and you know, we want to work with you, but we don't know what direction to go with. I said, let me go. They were like, okay, no. And I was like, they were like, find someone to buy you out of your deal. And I was like, okay, cool. That's easy enough. It was a reasonable sum, and John was like, I'll do it. I was like, for real? Yeah. I was like, okay. A week later, the paper landed, and that took like a year to work out. But it was like, you're serious, huh? You know. And every time he come over, that's why everyone would see me opening up and working with him, because it was like he was the one that put his money where his mouth is. You know. It was as simple as that. A lot of other labels, smaller, boutique-y, really nothing to do with anything that I wanted to do with, came up to me, like, you know, really small underground labels. It's kind of like, I came from 1980. Why would I go backwards? You know, I came from all that hype. Why would I go down to no promotion and £1,000 to go around the country? Like, stop playing. You know, like, I know this business. Stop playing. I'm too hood for you squares. Oh, well, people think automatically if you're a chick, you gotta be fucking an American to get a deal. It's like, it's disrespectful. You lot see me work. 10 years in this for me to just fuck John Legend and get a deal. I'ma just stare at you. I don't even entertain that. People know my work, people know my effort, people know I've had my label, I've done this before. A lot of other girls did it. You know, people know I put in the energy and the work. So for people to be like hating or having an opinion about who I'm fucking is, number one, like, go and get a day job. Number two, do I have to fuck John to get a deal? Really? Think about it. I had 2 deals already. Stop playing. But like, when people that you know come up to you, and people that are on the scene come up to you, and you're like, for real? That came out your face? With all kind of respect to me, you must want a box. Like, think about that statement before you talk. Think about what comes out your face before you talk. It's rude. It's rude. It's just rude. I can't even get into it. The work with Virgin Unite started in the last cycle. I went to South Africa at the end of the last album, and they were like, you know, you're a strong black woman. You look like the girls in South Africa. Can you please go out there and, you know, give them a role model kind of thing? And I was like, well, I want to go to South Africa. Let me go and see what the country's about, you know. And then I went there and I saw the work they were doing, and I was like, what do you want me to do? Because you guys are doing it so well with so little. What I do there now, though, is just basically raise money and draw attention to the campaign, which is Virgin Unite, to get money to the grassroots charities, so they can basically get access to AIDS medicines. They can get the medicines they need are in the country. There's a huge AIDS problem. The medicines they need are in the country. They just can't get to them because they're broke, and because the one bus goes to town once a week, and they might need their meds 3 or 4 times a week. So they basically die for the sake of not being able to physically get there. So we want to provide extra buses. We want to provide AIDS, AIDS hubs, AIDS medicine hubs, closer to the provinces, you know, closer to the little villages. Takes money, and the government's not trying to give her any. You know, the government is what it is. It's all corrupt. It's about basically using my music to help other people. You know, because we could all sit here and be like, yeah, I'm famous, I'm cool, and people are still dying in Sudan, and people are still, you know, hurt because of the bullshit of the real world. This is fun. This is work. This isn't the real world. You know, so if I'm gonna do this, let me help them out too.